All right, Shalom. This is the brothers of GMS Louisiana Saints, the New Orleans camp, with another pre-camp lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May your brothers endure until the end. Shalom. And we're in the month of June, and with that being the case, not only is it June and microchips are everywhere, but it's also Pride Month. This is the month that they've designated for these sodomites out here, the alphabet group beginning with LG, and with this wicked lifestyle being as pushed forth as it is in this society, we know what time it is. This place, just like Sodom and Gomorrah in the past, is going down that path of destruction by fire and brimstone from the sky in the past, and on this side, that modern fire and brimstone, those 200 million nuclear missiles. And it says all throughout the scriptures that this place, America, which is biblically known as Babylon the Great, spiritual Assyria, Egypt, Sodom, all that, would be synonymous with this wicked lifestyle, really this death style that's being pushed out here. And we're just the first couple of days into June, and before it's over, you're going to see a bunch of wicked madness going on. I was out in public a little bit earlier, and I passed by a church, and you would think a church repping the Bible wouldn't be pushing something like this, but they had banners saying, "Oh, what did Jesus say? To love everyone. Happy Pride Month." This place is just dusted and disgusted and upside down. But we're just going to get straight into the precepts.
What scripture is that? Jesus said that love everyone sodomite?
That's in the Rainbow Bible.
Which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
And those dead bodies are, of course, the spiritually dead bodies of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out here who are the true children of Israel. You've got the elect waking up, but you've still got these 2/3, whether they haven't heard the word or have heard the word and scoff against it, still want to be spiritually dead in this society. And one of the main strongholds on our people right now is this alphabet group. It's like every day you see more and more so-called Negroes and Latinos in this thing, being sodomites, being bull daggers, all that, and it being spiritually Sodom. It makes sense. This is the number one country. This is the number one country on the face of the earth that pushes that lifestyle onto the rest of the planet. Through what? Social media, TikTok, Instagram, on TV, especially through Hollywood, and through their socio-political policies that they put onto the rest of this planet. Because whenever America overthrows a nation, what do you see come next? The women become whores, the children become degenerates, they put in bullshit democracy, and then you start seeing a bunch of sodomites pop up. In spiritual Egypt, that goes without saying, this is the place of our captivity and bondage yet again, just like ancient Egypt.
This Deuteronomy 32 and 32. For their vine is the vine of Sodom and the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are the grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter.
Their vine is the vine of Sodom. You jakes out here are growing, you're growing as that wicked vine off of this root of degeneracy out here. And what does it say? If it had not been for the remnant, then we would have been as Sodom and Gomorrah, burnt to a crisp like these 2/3 out here as an entire nation. But luckily there is that remnant that's woken up to that is no longer these dead bodies, they're these alive bodies, seeing how wicked and wayward the society is and doing whatever we can to depart from it. As it says in Revelation 18, arise ye and depart. No, in Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Revelation 18, it says, come out of her, my people. That's ultimately talking about us getting beamed up on these chariots as this modern fire and brimstone hits this place.
And what does it say right after that? That you be not partakers
of their sins.
It says, their wine, 33, is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of apes.
That goes right into that Jeremiah 51 verse 7.
Deuteronomy 32 and 33. Their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of apes.
Dragons, snakes, asps, snakes, dragons, and we know who that red dragon is. Esau, the main one pushing this philosophy out here because he himself is a damn sodomite. As it says in Daniel's, he does not desire women. So we would have the rest of the people on this planet be the same.
And the reason is a cruel venom, because when venom get in you, it seeps into you, then it destroys you, man. So which makes it cruel. Because again, he's fierce, man. All right? This is a fierce man we dealing with. So he know that sodomy is going to be the death of you. The wages of sin is death, man.
That's the spirit.
Deuteronomy 20:25.
Get him on camera.
Should we not wear that which pertaining unto women? Get him behind, right there.
We just read that our people are taken by this stronghold, this wine of the dragon and the ass, this sodomite lifestyle out here. And just to back you up, it just venom destroying you inside out. That can be spiritually and physically. Spiritually, you've got demons on you, the sodomite demon destroying you, and then physically, all these diseases that come with living in that lifestyle. Right. Hey, but they shall, their own blood, as it says in the law, their own blood shall condemn them, roughly paraphrasing.
And also in the book of Romans, the first chapter, where it said they receiving themselves meat. So whatever the Most High give, praise the Lord for AIDS, man.
Yeah.
All right? Most High give your fucking ass that ooh-wee is good for your ass, man. All right? He give you that antioxidants, good for your ass, man. Whatever the Lord give you, fuck around that lifestyle, good for you, man.
You getting monkeypox right now.
Yeah, you getting the monkeypox now, man. You getting that Nestle Crunch downstairs, man. All in your backside too, man. Good for you.
You get that Romans, but
the boy said the movie, you filthy animal. Good for you, man.
Change you, filthy animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you suffer. You end up suffering inside for the things you did outside, man. Mm-hmm. You see, it comes what within you. It starts to live in your abode, in your tabernacle, man. All right, because you want to protect your house, and you care less about your house, which is your physical body, man. Go ahead,
reread that last part again, then we'll get that Jeremiah.
Deuteronomy 32 and 33. Their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps.
And this isn't talking about a bottle of Manischewitz or some Cabernet or anything like that. This wine is talking about a philosophy. And what do philosophies do? They can get you drunk off of them, stumbling and just busted and disgusted out here. And this lifestyle that Esau pushes is a wine, a very detrimental wine. Get that Jeremiah 51 out?
It's Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken.
And it says in Revelation 17 that all the nations have committed fornication with her and drunken of her wine. And getting democracy, building a somewhat capitalist type society, and especially this alphabet group beginning with LG. Keep going on.
The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
And that could be twofold. They're mad, as in they're mad in their lusts. They're mad as in bugged out of their lifestyles, how they're living out here. And they're also mad because they can see what happens when they let Esau allow him to put his claws into their country and push his philosophies, push his wines. Their people become bugged out. The women become whores. The family structure is destroyed. And you got a bunch of goons and goblins running around out here, which is ultimately going to play into why a lot of these nations are getting geared up to shoot those 200 billion nuclear missiles on this place and cleanse it, like that fire and brimstone cleansed ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, you got one? Con, you got it. Then we'll get that Romans.
Con, this is Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter.
You can break it down.
Con. It says the 25th verse. It says, I'll go up to 24. They kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled, but either one slew another treacherously, going into what you just said about those men, those parents, those whores bringing up treacherous children.
You said that's Wisdom of Solomon
14
and
24.
God, and if I could say real quick, all them verses in them last verses of Wisdom of Solomon 14 is talking about how these Canaanites were acting in the Holy Land. And hey, it involves sodomy, it involved adultery, men sleeping with their mothers, committing child sacrifices, all these things, which is exactly what these Edomites are practicing today in their secret societies, and then what they push out in the media to get these people out here to be acolytes to their wickedness, followers to it.
I got a couple of it. It says, but either one slew another treacherously or grieved him by adultery. And I'm going to jump down to 26. It says, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls, changing of kind. Meaning going into those transformers, cutting your rod off and, turning in whatever sex if you're a man, you turn into a woman. That's going into.
And changing of kind too is like mankind dealing with womankind, so mankind dealing with mankind, womankind dealing with womankind. Just madness out here, just inordinate, disgusting lusts, vile affections, kind.
It says changing of kind, disorder in marriages, adultery, and shameful and shameless uncleanness.
A disorder of marriages. On a quick side note, what's a major thing you're seeing getting pushed right now? Open relationships, open marriages, where they say, oh, it's open for the woman to deal with what? No, you can. Oh, it's open for women to deal with multiple men, but the husband can do it at the same time. But a lot of these men are simps and cunts out here, so they can only get that one whorish woman while she's got a whole harem of men.
Will Smith,
Yeah,
swinging, right? That's the perfect example of but this was all projected upon our people, pushed upon and forced upon our people, man. You got Paul Harvey, all right, implementing. Look, they convinced the people that swinging was better, man. And this is the time. Those things that he spoke about actually came to pass in the last days, man. All right. They have convinced our people that swinging is better than the natural way, man. All right? And if you don't know what swinging is, go look it fucking up, man. Go ahead.
and another thing too, with that devil Paul Harvey, he was saying if I was the devil, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
He was pushing a lot of sexual immorality.
Yeah.
And another thing too, when we look into ancient Rome and ancient Greece, before their societies under the Edomites fell down, what was pushed? Debauchery, decadence, sodomy, all these very same things we're seeing take place today. And those civilizations, that was a sign to let you know they were on the downcline, and they eventually fell because of those ways. So what do you think is going to happen with this modern day Rome? This modern day Assyria, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, the same exact Canaan, the same exact thing.
Sex with animals.
Oh, that too.
Push, man.
Can't forget about that.
Kind.
Yeah, some more.
I got one more verse. This is verse 27. For the worshiping of idols, not to be named, is the beginning, the cause, and the end.
Reread it from the top again.
Verse 27, it says, for the worshiping of idols, not to be named, is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
And that's what all this is. This alphabet lifestyle, beginning with LG, that goes back to ancient. Ultimately, it goes back to ancient worshiping of demons and pagans and gods like that. It's something called sex magic. One of the main tenets of sex magic is they say the most purest form of magic is sodomizing a young boy. Handsome youth. We'll get that Romans, and then we'll get yours. We'll get some Marcus first, and we'll get yours. But hey, somebody's hurt. Sodom and Gomorrah getting burnt by fire, and a fire truck just passed. But they won't be able to throw any water on this fire. But this Romans we're about to go into, which a lot of you brothers know about, it's going to back up that wisdom of Solomon 14, how these people found after these idols and these inordinate lifestyles lead to wickedness and ultimately death.
It's the book of Romans chapter 1, verse 24. Wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness.
Actually, we started 25.
Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Keep going.
Because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened.
And when you go to Wisdom of Solomon 13, what it talks about is that the people worship the stars and the moon and the sun, worshiping the creation rather than the creator, which is exactly what this is going into too. These, as it's about to say, these people worshiping man as the ultimate ideal of creation and the ideas and ways that man comes up with.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Evolution, atheism, natural selection, democracy, living your best life. Oh, this is the only life we live. So we need to use our own wisdom to make life as convenient and pleasurable for anybody, no matter what that may be. Whether living the alphabet lifestyle, committing adultery, being a liar, anything like that.
Even in the whorish lifestyle. That's a major thing over here in America. To be the biggest whore, be the biggest thug you can possibly be, man. Right? A fucking degenerate. Then you niggas have all these codes and policies that you have, you don't even stick by. Like, for instance, it's a lot of things that sodomite young thug, 27 niggas all get busted on a RICO charge. And we already knew it. Out of 27, 20 of them gonna tell, and they told. They're ready to go to the. They said we're scared to tell on that stuff because he'll kill our families and all that stuff. We're kind of scared of. But that's you niggas. Y'all have a G code as they call it, but you don't stick by it. You niggas don't even know what snitching is. You're a snitch. But this guy, like the Tekashi thing, that guy was a regular. He was a regular guy. Y'all put in your organization, let him find out everything he read on y'all ass, man. But you can tell this nigga wasn't no gangster. Y'all don't know what gangster is, man.
Spirit don't lie.
You know? You don't know. The real gangsters are these Edomites, man. They take their money laundering millions of dollars from corporations and only get probation. Right? They steal whole lands. They sell you drugs.
Like these pharmacies, they sell illegal drugs.
They run guns. But the other policy from Eric Holder, man. They do Fast and the Furious gun running and kill a bunch of American people and soldiers and shit, and then it just poof go away. This man Esau's the real gangster out here, man. What you gonna do? Nothing. That's what George Bush said. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. And that's what it is, man. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you niggas playing, man. Eric, and I'm gonna say this. You so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, the whole world know you ain't nothing more than a fucking joke, man. You're not serious about it. Goddamn, man. They know you the punching bag of the whole earth. I can go right now, blow a nigga brains out on camera, and I'm gonna get off. Case in point, Aaron Root. Case in point, George Zimmerman. Them niggas get book deals. They get all sorts of money given to their families through Cash App and Minutemen and all these other Klansmen and shit.
GoFundMes and shit.
Yeah, what the other guy name is who did that? Who blasted the mother cats up there in Minnesota?
Oh yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Carl Rittenhouse. That guy got a show coming out, and he got a fucking book deal. Man.
He was on Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, you're right.
Becoming a new American legend. Which that's what he is. He's an American legend along with Dylan Roof and all these other people because they doing what their forefathers did, killing niggers, spics, and tontos, killing the savage.
I mean, this brother was talking about it about a year ago. What happened to all these mysterious missing fucking Native Americans up there in Dakota, up there in the Dakotas and the Montanas and shit? They ain't talking about that. They're snatching your ass up and doing whatever they please.
The women specifically.
Yeah, and they killing the men.
Mm-hmm. And then look at you Latinos. You come across the border and ICE throws you in those detention centers where they break up families and starve people to death. But yet you want to be a part of this society. You think that the American dream is something that you can be a part of. But as we just brought out earlier, as it says in Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted with all these different philosophies and ways of life you jakes want to follow after, and it shall destroy you.
Right.
And you know what? It deservedly so. as we get closer and closer to the end, hey, the Most High, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon 15, he's giving us that more fierce spirit. Because, hey, the time of talking is quickly coming to an end. We can see with all these different things taking place that it's about to be the time of action. And as we've been going into with this lifestyle, beginning with LG and all these other inordinate, lascivious lusts that you people like to follow after, hey, there's going to be a recompense for it. And as we were going into with that Romans, where the man worships the creation more than the Most High, that's mainly talking about these Edomites, because they're the ones that heavily push this atheist evolution philosophy out here. Darwinism, as it says in 2 Thessalonians, he wants to sit in the seat of the Most High and show himself as the Most High.
Yeah, that Darwinism, that was some of the most wickedest shit you can ever read, man. Evolution.
And this going into men worshiping the creation more than the creator. When you go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, that's damn near that is the mindset of these Edomites, these so-called white people out here. They have that mindset that this is the only life, so we might as well live it up. We have never heard of a man to come back from the dead. YOLO. Let's put wreaths upon our head and smell flowers and live it up, oppress the poor, because today we're alive, but tomorrow we shall be as dust. So a lot of you people are following after that same philosophy. You're so goddamn weak. You think that if you miss any little opportunity, I won't have any memories to look back on. I won't have any good memories in my life. It was all just for a waste. You're living your worst fucking life.
Yeah. Hey, get the precept. We almost.
Verse 24. Wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
God, keep going where it goes into the.
God. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Hey, women becoming lesbians and women getting double mastectomies and trying to become men out here.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one towards another.
Burning their lust one towards another. And what do you think that involves? You already know. Like them sodomites in Sodom and Gomorrah that wanted to come against the angels, saying, "Let us come out so that we may know them." They didn't want to have a conversation with them. They wanted to know them carnally, physically.
Men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of the error which is meet.
Hey, that venom in them, spiritually destroyed and physically destroyed. Their own blood being a witness against them, being full of diseases and just being a walking horror out here.
Hepatitis,
monkeypox, by that Curious George.
And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
Living this death style, living everything clean contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. But as we've been going all throughout this video, there's going to be a recompense for it. The United States is Babylon the Great, as we read in Jeremiah 51 verse 7, and it's that great so-called great city in Revelation 11 verse 8 that is spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know what happened to ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. And it stood as a memorial as to what would happen if you lived those lifestyles. And it's going to be no different than this modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. And we'll show you. You wanted to roll it down? Like, we'll get one last precept. Give me a hold. How long is it?
It's Jude 1 and 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set for an example.
At point blank period. That speaks for itself. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah, giving themselves over to their lusts and to strange flesh, living after these wicked lifestyles out here. As the brother just brought out in Romans, leaving the natural use of the woman to burning their lust for men, being just complete demons and reprobates out here. And there is a recompense for that. And this Abarat Azal, this is the last Pride Month we come across, which with the way things are looking, it's going to be the last hot girl summer, hot Pride Month, all that stuff. The 4th of July, Memorial Day, everything.
What does it say in Proverbs 16? Pride goeth before what? For destruction.
And this place is full of great pride, as we clearly see every day. But we'll close it out with Isaiah 13, verse 19. You can read down to 22 if I'm not sure.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 19. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
And like how we've been going into throughout this video, how was ancient Sodom and Gomorrah thrown down? With fire and brimstone from the sky. And we know this isn't talking about ancient Babylon in modern day Iraq, because that place didn't go down by fire, and it still has people inhabiting it to this day.
Verse 20.
This is talking about the daughter of Babylon, which you Edomites, you so-called white people, are synonymous with in Psalms 137.
Verse 20, it says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
It shall never be inhabited.
Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
I am.
Exactly.
Twice as been alive.
Hey, that's that pride we were talking about. That pride that has reached to the heavens. Nothing but a loser drug addict. An Edomite at that. And it said, it shall never be inhabited again. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. And the reason it's making that comparison to the Arabians, because they like to live in deserts. So that's letting you know that this place is going to be a desert, an uninhabitable desert from sea to shining sea, from the west coast to the wicked east coast. Keep going.
But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there.
Keep going.
And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces.
It's talking about only desert creatures are going to dwell here after a season, because those kind of creatures, scorpions, lizards, and all that, are conducive to that type of harsh environment. But then, as I said in the verse above, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Man, woman, or child will never set foot on this place ever again.
Man.
Read the end of that verse, sir.
And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
And we can see with all these end time signs taking place that her time is very near to come, and her days are no longer being prolonged. We're on the verge of food shortages, which are going to lead to famines, fuel shortages, blackouts, world wars, race wars, civil wars, all that. And then ultimately the cherry on top, those 200 million nuclear missiles hitting this place and making it stand as an eternal memorial as to what a wicked kingdom looked like, how not to govern the earth, and what the judgment and punishment was for afflicting the apple of the Most High's eye, the true children of Israel, who are again the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwat were edified by this pre-camp lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors
To Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shalom.
Shalom.
Abba Babal.
Abba Babal.
Kwam Yasharala.